Welcome back, YouTube. We're going to do a video today about every door direct mailing, EDDM for short. The United States Postal Service uses this, and I'm just going to give you some basic information about what our experience has been with it, and maybe what you can expect from it. Everybody's going to be different. Your results will probably be different than ours. Me and my wife own a small cabinet painting business. It's just me and her. And like I said, we've used this now for a few years, kind of got a good idea of our return on investment from it. And so I just wanted to do a quick video. I don't know how many of you out there may want to use this, but I wanted to give you an idea of what our results have been and how to bundle your postcards, and what you have to do to get your zip codes and that. So I guess the first thing I'll start out with is our return on investment. So if we are mailing out 1,500 postcards, which that's about a normal mailing for us, this one we're going to do a little more. I ordered 3,000 postcards, and our first mailing is going to be 1,900 postcards, but let's just use 1,500 as a benchmark. So using 1,500 as a benchmark, you can, we expect, again, this is going to be different probably wherever you are, but over the course of the 3 or 4 years that we've been doing this, it's been our experience that of a 1,500 mailing, you're going to get anywhere from 0.5% to 1% response rate on this, which means, let's just go with 1%, that out of 1,500 you'll get 15 inquiries. Out of those 15 inquiries, you may land 3 or 4 jobs. So it is basically a numbers game, but in our business, when we get our first job off of it, then that will pay for the mailing plus half again. So we're getting our money back for the mailing off of the first job, and then plus we're getting half of that again. So we get that paid off during the first job, and then the second, the third, or the fourth job, or whatever it happens to be, is all return on investment. So, I think you can, grasp that. So that's pretty much how it works out for us. So it's worth it. And I want to go over first is the cards that we mail. And these cards are 14-point cardstock. We've got them printed both sides, and they're good. They're good postcards. They're the size that you're supposed to mail. So the size of these are 6 1/4 by 8. Like I said, it's 14-point cardstock, gloss on both sides. And I'll just say one thing: when you're designing your card, take your time and try to design a card that's eye-catching. Include pictures if you can. On the back, you can give some information. And try to go with, of course, what you can afford, but try to go with the highest quality possible that you can afford. Because what will happen is when people go to their mailbox and they get their mail out and one of these is in there, if it's a card that's really not presentable, or 8-point card stock, or real flimsy and not well thought out, the card's not well thought out, then the majority of the time those cards are just going to go in the trash. So try to make something, and then whenever you get your layout done and get your card like you like it, and you're going to send off to the printer, just try to make sure that you're getting something, that the people are going to take, and they may, they'll get the feel of it, and, they just won't dismiss it offhand. And, also there are things like, you're going to have up here where your EDDM label is supposed to go. But if you go to the print shop and you tell them this is for an EDDM mailing, then they'll make sure all this is where it's supposed to go. And they'll do that for you. So that's a word on the postcards. So let's just say now that you've got all your postcards done and you're ready to start mailing. Well, then the next thing that you're going to have to do is go to the United States Postal Service website. You'll go to the EDDM up there in the search bar. Just put EDDM in there, and that's going to take you to a map. Now on this map, you can search by area codes that you want your postcards to go to, and they'll have, all the various zip codes that you want to use. Another cool feature about it is that you can look up demographics, age of the house, the median income in the zip code. Are they buyers? Are they renters? There's a lot of demographics that you can kind of go through to filter out your results. So that it's very targeted in that aspect, is that you can go through various demographics to pick out your mailings. Now, once you've done that, and once you've ordered your cards, you've got however many cards that you want to send out, then you'll go and you'll pick out these routes. And you can send a card to these various routes. You can send them to different area codes, the same area code, however you want to do it. And once you've picked that out, you will go ahead and, have your routes set out. Then the next thing that you'll do is you will have to bundle your cards. Now, they're going to have something similar to this. It's a form that has to be filled out with every bundle. So you have to bundle all these into 100s, which I'll show you in just a second. You then fill out your paperwork here, and you'll wrap this around your 100 card bundles. One of each has to go on your bundles, and you'll wrap these around with a rubber band. All right. And then it's going to tell you which post office that you have to carry these to. You can't just drop them off at any post office. So it's going to give you the post office or post offices, depending on if you choose different zip codes, that you have to take these to. And it'll give you a certain day to drop them off. So once you get all these bundled, you fill out the form, then you take them to the post office that it designates for you. So I think that about covers it on the postcards, filling out your paperwork, bundling them. Now I have to, since we're sending out 1,900 of these, I have to count out 19 100 postcard stacks. So we're going to do that, and I'm going to give you a little, maybe a tip if you're going to do this, maybe a tip on how it makes it a little easier to bundle these. So let's get with it. Okay. Now, once you've got your 100 stack counted out, this is the little trick part that I figured out that saves a lot of time, so that you don't have to count out every stack. So what I'll do is I'll just grab another stack here. I'll put them next to this stack, and then I'll slide off the excess, and always keep the original. So I slid off the excess, and you're left with 100. So put that over to the side, and then you're just going to do that with the remaining bundles. You're just going to put them on here, put them up next to the original bundle, slide them off, and there's your next one. Now, you do that, so on and so forth, until you got all your bundles counted out. Now, Renee always fills out the paperwork because she's the one that picks out the routes. So she figures out she does the paperwork on these, and she bundles them. But just saying that this was already filled out, you would put it on the stack, and then you would wrap a rubber band around it. Okay, and double your rubber band, put your rubber band around that, and it's ready for the post office. So I'm not going to bore you with going through all these because I have 19 of these stacks to make, but I hope that this helped. Maybe you're going to do this. Maybe you were looking at some way beside media, print media or radio media or something along those lines. And so we found this to be a cost-effective way to advertise. The return on investment is, pretty good for what it is. And if you have any questions or comments, put them down there in the comment zone, and I'll try to get around to them and answer those for you. And if you thought the video was helpful, informative, how about hit that like button for me? And if you're so inclined, subscribe. Okay? Well, thanks for watching. Have a good day, and be kind to each other. It doesn't cost a thing. See ya.